Hey, this is Carly Z with Gear Diary, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Adidas FitSmart, I don't even know what to call it, athletics tracker, I guess. This is something that sort of sits in the weird in-between space between a full-on sports watch, like a GPS watch or something similar, and a fitness tracker. It does a little bit more than a fitness tracker, a little bit less than a GPS watch. So, retails for $149.99 from Adidas, and as you can see, it kind of looks like what happens when a Nike Fuel Band and a Casio watch love each other very, very much. In that it kind of looks vaguely retro, but it also has that translucent look that the Nike Fuel Band used to have. It's very athletic looking. This is not something that you would want to wear in an office setting. I'm not even sure this is something you'd want to wear if you were a teacher or something similar. It very much screams athletic wear. So as much as Adidas is trying to position it as a all-day fitness tracker as well as a workout device, it's really, I think, a little bit too casual looking to kind of fit into that category completely. It does have a heart rate monitor on the back. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. And overall, it's kind of made of a rubbery material. I didn't particularly like the material. I found that it didn't breathe very well for me, and I ended up getting itchy if I wore it for too long while working out. It just didn't breathe very well for me. So just if you're sensitive to that kind of thing, that's something you're going to want to be aware of. This really is blindingly white, as you can see. So, the FitSmart. The FitSmart, I have two major issues with it. One is more of a market positioning issue, and the other is more specific to the device itself. From a market perspective, at $149.99, this is kind of sitting in a weird spot. For $150, you can get a really great Garmin device. You can get a really nice Polar watch. You can get something from TomTom, all of which are going to have heart rate tracking capabilities, some of which are going to be compatible with heart rate straps that are going to be a lot more accurate than a wrist-based one. They're going to have GPS. They're going to offer a lot more from a sports perspective than a device that has to pull all of its GPS information from your phone. On the other hand, the only thing this has going for it is the My Coach system, so if you're a big fan of Adidas's pre-made plans and things like that, obviously this is a benefit. But if you have no loyalty to those, there's a lot of great sports options in the $150 range. On the flip side, from a fitness tracker perspective, at $150, this is competing head-on with the Fitbit Charge HR. It's competing with some of the Garmin VivoFit devices. It's competing with the Pebble Time and the Asus ZenWatch and the first generation Motorola 360. Basically, if what you're looking for is more of a fitness tracker, non-GPS device, there's a whole slew of options out there that offer you a lot more features for the same price. If this were $75, it would be a phenomenal deal. At $150, you really have to be tied very closely to the Adidas My Coach system to really want to buy that because, again, for $150, you can get a Garmin, you can get a Fitbit. There's a lot of options with bigger ecosystems. So this isn't really a great deal at that price. The bigger issue I have with it, though, is that it is seriously bonkers when it comes to measuring calorie output. Like, insane. So, to give you an idea, on a typical Saturday, I started to do a workout, so I put it in workout mode, which meant it was tracking my heart rate continuously, it was kind of tracking my activity. I did a half-an-hour workout, it was a strength workout, so it wasn't running or anything like that. Beyond that, I just had it track my steps all day. At the end of the day, it had me tracking, I believe, about 6,600 steps. And it declared that, great news, I had burned 3,500 calories from a half-an-hour strength workout and 6,600 steps. Now, to give you an idea of how bonkers that is, a friend of mine had a Fitbit. I happened to see her that same day. She had walked 10,000 steps. Her Fitbit told her she'd burned about 2,200 calories walking 10,000 steps. So there was something very wrong with the Adidas tracker here. To give you a further idea, my average, to maintain my height and weight, to maintain my weight, even being slightly active, I need about 2,100 calories a day. If I were to actually follow the 3,500 calories that Adidas seems to think I've run, I'd weigh a lot more very quickly. And to give you a further idea, if you subtract out that the extra, almost 1,500 calories that Adidas thinks I seem to have, in order for me to burn an additional 1,500 calories, I would have to run for about 3 hours on a treadmill. That's about basically I'd have to run about 15 miles to burn 1,500 calories. It's simply not possible that I walked 6,000 steps, or the equivalent of about 3 miles, and burned 3,500 calories. It's simply physically impossible. And no matter how many different ways I tried this, no matter how many different ways I tested it, I got the same answer from the Fitbit. From the FitSmart. It insisted, no matter what I did, oh yeah, you're burning a crazy amount of calories. I actually did inquire with Adidas about this, and the first answer I got was, well, that sounds about right. And I said to them, no, this is not right. I've consulted with biologists, I've consulted with people with nutrition degrees. They're all coming back and telling me they cannot figure out how you're coming up with these numbers. I'm running these through my own online calculators that I'm finding, and I can't figure out where you're coming up with these numbers. And they came back and said, well, sure, because just to exist, you'll need about 1,800 calories. And I wrote back and said, that's not true, because I eat less than that in a day. So clearly, they're working off a scale unknown to other human consumption. I'm not really sure what they're working off of, but it does kind of color my perception of the entire device, because even though the steps were accurate and the heart rate monitor seems to be accurate, you're kind of left with, okay, and now I have to do my own work on figuring out exactly how that works out for me. I can't really trust it to feed that information over to MyFitnessPal, because God only knows how that's going to interpret the calories. It's going to come back and tell MyFitnessPal I burned 3,500 calories. That's just crazy. Likewise, it doesn't do me any good to know what my heart rate was or how many steps I took if it's coming up with these crazy numbers on how much that actually burned for me. The app is also, I think, a little bit poorly developed when it comes to day-to-day fitness tracking. It's very difficult to go back and look at your previous day's activity, and it's just not very user-friendly. And again, I pointed out that there's better options in the $150 category. This does not have a vibrating alarm. It does not track your sleep. It does not pick up smartphone notifications. It really does not do a whole lot beyond track your steps, calculate your calories, and check your heart rate. If that's all it's doing, it needs to be doing all of those things perfectly to justify the cost, and it just does not do that. So unfortunately, even if you love the aesthetics of this and you're only going to use it for working out, I guess it's not a bad device. But if you're looking for an all-around fitness plus fitness tracker, something you can use for running and also use for just everyday tracking, I cannot possibly recommend the FitSmart. It is just not a great device. It does not work as advertised, in my opinion. It comes up with these crazy caloric burn numbers. The heart rate monitoring does not seem to play into the everyday fitness tracking. It only matters for workouts. So it's nice if you want to randomly check your heart rate in the middle of the day, but it's not actually going to factor into anything. It doesn't randomly check your heart rate and save it. It doesn't do any of those things. So basically, you have all these great features that all these great options for features that are not being put together well, and the few that are put together are not put together well at all, because clearly, again, I just can't get over this. 3,500 calories for 6,000 steps. This is so far beyond wrong. It's crazy to me. I mean, the math is just not there. So unless they have a firmware update or some other major change, I have to say that there are far better ways to spend your $150. Go out and buy a Fitbit, go out and buy a Garmin, go out and buy a really nice watch instead. Any one of those things is going to serve you a lot better than the FitSmart. Once again, this is Carly Z for Gear Diary. I do recommend that you check out our written review of the FitSmart. We'll try to update that as we talk to Adidas and get more information from them on some of these errors that we're having. But again, this is the FitSmart from Adidas. It is, unfortunately, probably one of the worst fitness trackers I've ever seen, and I do not recommend it. Thanks, and have a great day.